The brewery was an idea that Andy Jones and I dreamed up in a pub in Bath, and the two of us who both had other business interests, myself being in the pub and Andy having a music PR company, we both had an interest in setting up another business and doing something together. It started out as a little bit of a challenge because we had gone out with some friends and we were chatting, we'd had a couple of beers. So maybe we'll start a microbrewery. The kernel of the idea just sort of grew. I think after we met, or after we had that night out, Andy kind of emailed me and we started saying, maybe there is something in this. Perhaps we should look at setting up a brewery. We both have an interest in real ale, and we wanted to sort of explore that. And we thought, well, with his PR background and my pub background, that there might be a good way of us joining forces together. And that's really how DevilFish Brewery was born. It was born in a pub.
Whether I was still hungover or whatever, the next day, within a week, we found the kit that we're using now and put a deposit on it, so we were kind of swept along there, really. We're trying to be different with different kind of pump clips, with different design, with distinctive looking labels, and we do use a lot of hops. And I think all of our beers are going to follow that model, which is an American model as well. They're all very hoppy, they're very distinctive. We just want to do something that tastes good, really, and a little bit different.
The way we met Ian was at the pub that I run, Seven Stars in Winsley. We were going for an accreditation, which is called Cask Mark. As part of that accreditation process, they sent out people to assess the beers. And I got chatting with the chap who came to see us, and just so happened to know Ian from his university days. And I mentioned to the Cask Mark accreditor, I said, I'm setting up a microbrewery. I'm looking for somebody who might be able to offer technical advice and some expertise. Because at that time, Andy and I were brewing, but we were brewing on a homebrew scale. We were doing it in his garage, and we were just really experimenting on a very small scale. But we needed somebody who had a track record of making great beer.
I heard through the grapevine that two people were setting up a brewery at Wick Farm. After much thought about what to do next, I approached Evan and asked him if he needed a hand with getting things pulled together. Over the last 30 years, I've built up a number of recipes, mostly now in my head, that allow me to create beers that will have certain flavours, certain appearances, and usually characteristics that I enjoy. The main malt we use is a pale ale malt, which is made from a barley called Marisota. Added to that, we'll use varying amounts of Caragold, crystal malt, torrefied wheat to provide specific characteristics within the beer. In addition, we use black malt to give both colour and like a burnt roast character. Hops in the beer give us both bitterness and hop aroma. So we tend to use certain hops that provide us with higher levels of bitterness, and other hops that give us the specific aromas we want in particular beers. So the first hops that go into the copper, mostly for bitterness, have less of an impact the variety has less of an impact. We use Goldings, we use Fuggles, we also use some American Optical Cascade, Bramling Cross, and Celea, which is a Styrian Golding. When Evan and Andy set up DevilFish, the idea was not to produce run-of-the-mill beers, but to produce beers that were distinctive. And we'd like to have a go at producing an American pale ale. We've got the hops ready for that, and the idea will be that we'll be producing that certainly in the next few months.
Now that we are almost 2 years now into the brewery, I think the next thing is learning about how you promote beer and how you get it out there, because there are so many small breweries that have sprung up, which is a great thing because it's offered real ale drinkers a choice like they've never had before, and also how we differentiate ourselves from what else is out there.
I think the plans really are just to do great distinctive beers that are packed with flavour, as simple as that. But I still think there's room for different ways of presenting beers, different tastes in beers, matching beers with foods, making beer more like a wine, a good wine, and you know, my wife said to me, well, you wouldn't take a bottle of beer to a dinner party. Well, why not? Let's make it so you do take a bottle of beer to a dinner party.
There are a lot of players in the market, and the beer market, you know, is a challenging one. So I think we've learned a lot about how to sell our beer, how to promote it, and the importance of having that real vision of where you want to take it. And you know, that comes with experience.